It's 11:30. Are you ready? That's a yes. That's a yes. I'm looking at both cameras. Yes, yes, yes. And now we are going to begin on our sits bones. We're sitting nice and tall. We're sending energy towards the crown of the head, and from the sits bones, we're maintaining that nice optimal spine position. Let me scoot up a little bit more. There you go. And now we're going to place our hands right in front of our bodies. We're going to level out the wrist with the elbow and align with the shoulder, palms facing each other. And we're just going to take a deep inhale. As you exhale, we're going to roll down one vertebra at a time, beginning the movement by rolling back on those sits bones. And we're just articulating down one vertebra at a time, keeping the spine nice and long, nice and long, nice and long. Ooh, and let's hold it here. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. And let's lower 1 inch. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. Ooh, you feel the earthquake. Deep inhale. My earth is shaking. And exhale. And let's lower down another inch. Ooh, deep inhale. Deep exhale. Deep inhale. And deep exhale. Let's lower all the way down. And now, let's place our heel close to the sits bones. And we're going to begin with some pelvic rhythm rocks, okay? So we're going to take a deep inhale. As you take that deep inhale, the sits bones goes towards the ground. And as you exhale, the sits bones goes towards the center of the room. And inhale, sits bones goes towards the ground. And exhale, sits bones goes towards the room. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Now we're going back into that neutral position, that neutral optimal spine position. Making sure that we keep that lower space in that lumbar region. And now we're going to lift the right pelvis up towards the side. Now we're tilting the pelvis to the side. And we're going to lower it back into that center, neutral position. And now we're going to tilt the left pelvis to the right. And back to center. And now right pelvis towards the left. And back to center. Now left pelvis towards the right. Back to center. And one more set. Right side pelvis towards the left. And back to center. And now left pelvis towards the right. And now back into center. Now we're going to draw circles with the pelvis. So we are going to circle the pelvis around. So we're including all that movement we were doing in the beginning. The pelvic rock forward and back, and now side to side. And we're combining it all into one. Drawing nice circles with the pelvis. Waking up those intrinsic muscles of the spine. And let's go for one more circle. And now let's reverse. Taking nice deep inhales. And exhale. We want to wake the pelvis up. There you go. And let's go for one more circle. Ooh, that feels good. And good. And we're going to place the pelvis back into neutral. I had to stop myself. I could do this all day long. And now we're going into a flat back bridge. So now let's lift the pelvis off of the mat. And we're going to go into a flat back bridge, and we're going to hold this bridge. And I want you to make sure that all the weight is on the backs of your shoulders and not on your neck. And you're not over clenching the glute muscle, so you're able to lengthen through the front side of your body. So now to make sure you're not over clenching your glute muscles, you may palpate the glute, palpate your glute with your hands for a tactile cue. It's up to you. And now let's lower. And now let's go for 4 more reps. And let's lift. And let's lower. And let's lift. And let's lower. 2 more. And let's lift. And let's lower. And let's lift. And let's lower. Now we're going to add some segmental movement into our bridge. So we're going to begin with that pelvic rock. And now we're going to tilt the pelvis. We're going to roll the sits bones, sending it towards the back of the knees, going up 1 vertebrae up at a time. Taking a nice deep inhale. As you exhale, soften through the sternum, the mid and low back, going down 1 vertebrae at a time. Just as if you're placing a pearl necklace back on your dresser. Taking another deep inhale. Exhale, let's begin to roll through the pelvis, sending the sits bones towards the back of the knees, going up 1 vertebrae up at a time. Taking a deep inhale. Exhale, let's soften through the sternum, the mid and low back, going down 1 vertebrae at a time. Ooh. And let's go for 1 more because it feels so good. Taking a deep inhale. Exhale, let's roll through the pelvis, sending the sits bones towards the back of the knees, going up 1 vertebrae up at a time. And we are going to hold it right here. Hold it. And let's lift the left leg into tabletop. So we're keeping that 90-degree position. There you go. Taking a nice deep inhale. And let's let that right glute or butt cheek scream. Scream. Wee. And let's lower back down. And now we are going to place the right leg into tabletop. Right leg into tabletop. Taking a deep inhale. Exhale. Do not clench the glute, but lengthen the glute while the left glute or left butt cheek screams. Woo! And lower. And now we are going to lift the left leg back into tabletop. And now we are going to point the left leg towards the ceiling. And now we are going to lower the left leg down to the ground. And we are going to lift it back. We're going to lift the left leg back into the right leg knee for 3. 1, 2, 3. And now the left leg lifts up towards the ceiling for 3. 1, and lowers back down to the right knee. 2, and 3. Ooh, 1 more for me. And now we are going to pulse the pelvis up and down. And let's pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we are going to bend. And we're going to bend that left leg into tabletop. And we're going to lower it back down. And now, woo, the right leg goes into tabletop. And now right leg points towards the ceiling. And now you're going to lower that right leg down to the ground. And we're going to lift the right leg to meet up with the left knee. 1, for 3, 2, 3. And now the right leg is aligned with the left knee and lifted towards the ceiling for 3. 1, 2, 3. And now the right goes all the way down for 3. And now we are going to post the right leg for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now right leg goes into tabletop. And we are going to place the right leg down. And we are going to soften through the sternum, the mid, and low back. Going down 1 vertebrae up, down at a time. Good. And now, let's place both feet onto the mat. And now we are going to extend our arms out to the side into a T position. And we are going to drop both of our legs to the left as our gaze goes into the right. Taking a deep inhale, deep exhale. And now from here, the right hand, you're going to lift the right hand up towards the ceiling. And now the right fingertip, our gaze follows the right fingertip, the fingertips of our right hand, and the right is going to meet the left. And now we are going to lift the right hand up towards the ceiling as if we're opening a book. And we are going to open up, open up, open up. And now we are going to bring the legs back into center. And now we are going to drop the legs to the right as our gaze goes into the left. Taking a deep inhale. Exhale, we're going to lift the left hand towards the ceiling. The gaze follows the fingertips. And now that left hand meets the right. And now taking a deep inhale. Exhale, we're going to begin lifting that left hand, opening the book. And that left hand goes back into that start position as the gaze follows the fingertips. And now the legs goes back into center. And now we are going to begin let's go into some dead bug. So we're going to place our arms by the side of our bodies, palm facing the ground. And let's lift the right leg into tabletop and lower. And our left leg into tabletop and lower. Right leg into tabletop and lower. Left leg into tabletop and lower. Ooh, you can see. Right leg into tabletop and lower. Left leg into tabletop and lower. And from here, let's keep both legs onto the ground. Let's open up the inner thigh with some bent knee opening. So we're going to lower that right leg down to the side, but we want to make sure we keep the pelvis stable and steady on the mat. So we're going to drop our legs out to the side as far as our body permits. So we want to make sure that that pelvis remains steady and stable. And we're just warming up the inner thigh. And let's go for one more. Let's drop the left leg to the side. And now we are going to place it back into center. And now let's lift both legs into tabletop. And now let's reach the arms forward, lifting the chest. The gaze goes in between the thighs. And now let's lower back down. And let's lift forward. Let's lift the chest forward. Gaze goes between the inner thigh and lower. And let's go for 3 more. 2 more. 1 more. And lower. And now we are going to keep our feet in that tabletop position. We're going to keep the heels together, toes apart for a Pilates V. And we're going to go into some footwork. So we are going to extend the legs out and extend the legs out to 45 and draw it back in and extend out. And we're keeping our head down on the mat for the footwork. And let's go for 6 more. 5 more. 4 more. 3 more. 4 more. 3 more. Yeah. 2 more. I forget the count sometimes. 2 more. 1 more. And good. And we are going to draw the legs back into that tabletop position. And now let's lift the chest. Gaze goes between the thighs. And we are going to breathe in for 5 and out for 5 as we pump our arms to the side for our hundreds. And let's breathe. Pump it in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's lower the head back down onto the mat. And now we are going to place our feet together, and we're going to arch our foot, and we're going to continue with our footwork. And let's extend the legs out. And we're going for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And now we are going to place our legs to the tabletop. We're going to lift the chest once again, and we're going to send the left leg out, keeping that right leg in that tabletop or less than a tabletop position for that single leg position. And we're going to pump. Breathe it in for 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out for 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. In for 5, 2, 3, 4. Out for 5. In for 5. Out for 5. In for 5. Out for 5. In for 5. And out for 5. And now we are going to draw the legs back in. Taking a deep inhale. Deep exhale. Legs together. Feet parallel. Now we're going to extend the heels out for footwork. And we are going to press out for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And now let's extend the right leg out. Left leg, left knee in. And let's pump. Breathe it in for 5. Out for 5. 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 In for 5. And out for 5. And now let's draw the knees back into the chest. Taking a deep inhale. Deep exhale. Now the heels go back, heels together, toes apart once again. And now we are going to extend the legs out into a 45 degree, and we're going to hold it here. And we're going to flex and point the toe. Flex and extend the foot for 3, 7 more, 6 more, 5 more, 4 more, 3 more, 2 more, 1 more, and let's draw the legs back in. Taking a deep inhale. Deep exhale. Now let's extend the legs out into that 45 degree. And let's pump. Breathe in for 5. Out for 5. 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 In for 5. And out for 5. We are going to draw the legs back in, and we are going to place one leg in, one leg down, and now the other. And now let's drop both legs to the right as our gaze goes into the left. And now let's lift the legs back into center. And now let's drop both legs to the left as our gaze goes into the right. And now we are going to place the legs back into center. Extending the legs out, we're going to go in for a roll up. So let's place the arms overhead. Inhale, exhale to send the hands towards the ceiling, and inhale on the roll up. And flexing forward. And now we're going to stack up one vertebrae up at a time. And now let's grab our weights and chair. And we're going to pick the temple up. So if you have 2 dumbbells, we're just going to grab 1 dumbbell for now. But we're going to keep the other dumbbell close. There you go. And now we're going to begin with, let's begin with some chair, sit and stand. So I'm going to turn the chair the other direction. So all we're doing is functional movement. We're sitting down on the chair, making sure that the ribs and pelvis, we keep the connectivity with the ribs and pelvis. And as you have your arms extended out with the weight, it's important to make sure that the shoulders are nice and relaxed. And let's go for 10. And we're going to sit and lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And now let's place the weight onto the chair. And it's time for some cardio. So we're going to begin jogging in place. Now, if you have any injuries like knee issues or ankle issues that prevents you from jumping or running at the moment, you may go with the salsa variation. I love to dance, so I'm always going to add that in. And let's go for 5 more, 4 more, 3 more, 2 more, 1 more. And now we're going to pick the temple up. So now the knees come up higher. There you go, they come up higher. We're running faster. And we're going for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Even faster. So now the knee lift is going up higher, higher. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And now we are going to grab the weight. Let's grab the weight. Let's grab the weight. Having the arms extended out. And now, let's walk down. And let's come up. 1. Let's walk down. And let's come up. 2. Let's walk down. And come up. 3. Let's walk down. And come up. 4. So the main focus with this movement is hip dissociation. So we want to make sure we use the hip joint more than we use our knees. And let's go for 3 more. 2 more. And 1 more. And now let's place the weight back down. And now let's jog it back again. So if you're doing a salsa, this is the tempo you're moving right now. Holding it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you're going to speed it up. 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 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're going to speed it up even more. Dance like it's no tomorrow if you're doing a salsa variation. There you go. Going for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we are going to pick the weight back up once again. And we're going back into those squats. Going back into those squats. And let's squat it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Making sure that the knee doesn't pass the toes. And we're using that hip joint more than we use the knee. And this will be the last one. And we're going to come back up. And last round, and let's jog it up. Jog it up. And if you're doing a salsa, salsa it up. Salsa it up. And now we are going to pick this tempo. Pick up the top. Pick up the top. There you go. 5 more. 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. And pick it up. Holding it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And good. So now let's move the chair out the way. And let's grab the other dumbbell. And now we're going to work on some lunges. So you have 2 options to perform your lunge. You may do the traditional step forward and back. So let me do it from the side so you're able to see me. Lunge and step back. But if you don't want to, you may perform your lunge like this. There you go. And look, we're going 10 each leg. And with the lunge, we're going to add a dumbbell curl. So how that would look. Take a step forward. You know what? Let's remain stationary. I think that would be better for everybody. So let's begin with the right leg out. And we are going to descend down on the lunge and curl. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And now we're going to remain stationary throughout the weight. So now let's go into that lateral lunge. So if you have dumbbells, you're going to keep your dumbbells in a hammer curl orientation, okay? So you're going to squat down and you're going to lift the dumbbells up into a frontal raise. And we want to make sure we're using that hip joint more than we use our knees. So this is how we'll look on the side. 1. And thrust up top. And lunge. And thrust on top. There you go. And thrust. And thrust. And let's go for 5 more. Woo! 3 more. Buns of steel. That's the goal. Buns of steel. 2 more. And with nice shoulders. 1 more. And let's come back up. And now we're going to bring the legs back into the center. And now we're going to go into a quartzy lunge. So we're going to take that left leg and we're going to draw that left leg behind us. And it's going to cross, the left leg is going to cross, the left foot is going to cross the midline of our bodies. And we are going to perform that curtsy lunge. I can't even speak now. I'm out of breath. And now we are going to go descend. As we descend down on the squat, we're going to lift the arms laterally into a lateral raise. And 1. And 2. Nice and gentle. And 3. I love this exercise, by the way, because it makes me feel more of a dancer. And nice and graceful as you descend and ascend. Woo! And let's go for 2 more. And 1 more. And now, let's, with grace, zest, and vigor, what Joseph talked about, draw that left leg out to the side. There you go. And now, let's go to the other side. I just wanted to do that. Sometimes I'm a little bit extra. And now, let's go into that lunge. I almost forgot the exercise. So now let's go back into that static position. And now, find your balance. There you go. Center line of gravity. And now, let's descend down on that lunge and curl. 1. Descend down, curl. 2. Descend down. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And 1 more. 10. Woo, buns of steel. And now, let's rotate the foot. And now, let's go into that lateral lunge. So, we're going to lunge, out to the side, and 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. Shoulders are nice and relaxed. 6. 7. And your glutes are screaming. 8. Mine's are 9. And woo! And 10. Back to the curtsy, my favorite. Because I'm a wannabe dancer. I'm going to cross that right foot over my midline. And now I'm going to descend down on the squat. As I descend, I'm going for that lateral raise and ascend, lift gracefully for 1. And descend and lift. 2. 3. 4. Shoulders are nice and relaxed. 5. It's like you're flying. 6. 7. Yes. 8. 9. And 10. Remember, we move gracefully in Pilates. Step out. Oh, wait. Redo. It wasn't graceful enough. I'm tired. My glutes are screaming. And step out. There you go. That's what I was looking for. And now, let's place the dumbbells down. Oh, no. Keep your dumbbells with you. And let's love the dumbbells to death. Let's use it to our advantage. So now we're going to place our legs hip width apart, and now slightly bend at the knee. And now we are going to use our hips and we are going to hinge forward. As you hinge forward, you want to make sure you keep that nice optimal spine position. So now we're shooting energy from the crown of the head and towards the sits bones. And keep the back of the neck nice and long. And we are going to go into a boxing. So we are going to lift the dumbbells out. So the right goes overhead and the left goes behind. And we are going to lower down. And we're going to alternate. And that's 1. And lift. And lift. And that's 2. Lift. Lift. And that's 3. Lift. Lift. And that's 4. How we're doing, guys? Lift. Lift. 5. Lift. Lift. 6. 4 more. Lift. 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 lift, 2 more, lift, lift, 1 more, lift, lift. Woo, nice. And you can shake it off, shake it off, shake it off, shake it off. Woo, nice. So now, going back into that same position, our legs are hip width apart, slight bend at the knee, hinge at the hip joint, arms are out, and we are going to fly away. So let's extend our arms out laterally in this bent over position, and let's lower, and let's go for 8 more, 7 more, 6 more, 5 more, 4 more, 3 more, 2 more, 1 more, and lower. Woo! Yes. And now, let's stand up nice and tall. Shake it off if you have to. Add your little dance move if you like. Remember, it's Friday. We still have to party up, even if we are in our house with our loved ones, which makes it even better. No family feud today, no family feud. Say no to a family feud. And now, let's bend at our knees. Hinge at the hip once again. And now, the elbow is aligned with the rib cage, or you can have the elbows out higher. It depends on your mobility. And now we are going to go for a tricep extension. So we're going to kick the triceps out and bring it back in. And let's go for 9 more. 8 more. 7 more. Shoulders are nice and relaxed. 6 more. Neck is nice and long. 5 more. 4 more. Squeezing the dumbbells. 3 more. 2 more. 1 more. And that's 1. And let's hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And woo! Shake it. Shake it, shake it, shake it. And now we can place the weights down. Oh, yes. Ooh, hope everybody's sweating because I'm drenched. And now, standing nice and tall, nice and tall, nice and tall. Send the energy towards the crown of the head and towards the bottoms of the feet. We are going into a standing roll down. Taking a deep inhale. Exhale, begin nodding the head forward into flexion. And now the chest. Going down 1 vertebrae at a time. 1 vertebrae, 1 vertebrae. And if you don't have hamstring availability to keep the legs straight, you may bend at the knees. That is another option. And now you're going to walk your hands to the ground. And you are going to walk the hands into a push-up plank position. So that wrist is right under the elbow, and that elbow is right under the shoulder. Spine is nice and long. Now, if you have any contraindications that prevents you from going onto your wrists or your hands, you may go into the plank with the forearm position. So that will look like this. And it's the same thing. Same thing. And let's hold. Taking a deep inhale. Deep exhale. Deep inhale. Remember, shoulders are nice and long and relaxed. Neck is nice and long, the back of the neck. Woo. So what's for lunch, everybody? I don't know what's for lunch. I haven't opened my fridge yet. I know what's for dinner. My sister says she's cooking fish. Woo. I can't wait. I like to talk about food during exercises like this because it takes your mind away, right? It's like a vacation. And now we are going to lower down onto the forearms and continue the hold. I'm not too sure how she's going to make the fish. Hopefully she bakes it again. I like it when it's baked. But if she cooks it on the stove, though, it's all right. I love it too. I just love food. Healthy food. And now we're going to go back into that push-up position. Ah. Keeping that pelvis nice and stable. And now we are going to lower back down onto the forearms. Nice and control. And now we're going to go back into that push-up plank position. So now you're going to press back up with the left arm now. There you go. And lower back down. And one more with the left. And you're going to hold it right here once again. And now let's go into a leg pull front. So if you're on your forearms, you can still do the leg pull front. I'm going to do it on the forearms first. And we're going to lift that leg and lower. So it's not about how high you lift your leg. It's all about lengthening at that leg. So it's all about how you lengthen through that leg as opposed to how high you can lift the leg. And lower. And lift. And lower. And lift. And lower. And lift. And lower. And now let's lower the right knee down with control. And now left knee down with control. And now we are going to work on our sides. Yes. Say no to love handles. And now let's begin by placing that elbow right under the shoulder. So we want to make sure we have good shoulder stability. And we want to make sure we're not sagging at that shoulder. We want to keep that shoulder nice and long, right? We don't want no funky movement, but we want to keep it nice and steady. Having that forearm right there to help us bear the weight and keeping that torso nice and steady. Let's lift into that side plank. So we're going to place that top leg on top of the other foot and stacking the hip on top of the other hip. And let's lift. Yes. And let's hold. Lengthening through the spine and the feet. And let's hold. You may add a little hot sauce to your movement. Lifting the top arm up and lower. And let's go for 5 more. 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. Ooh, the other camera can't see my head. 1 more. And we are going to lower with control. And now, let's place that rib cage onto the mat. And we're going to place our hands behind the head. Now, we're still not sagging the spine onto the mat, right? The spine is still nice and erected. And we're going to go for a double side leg lift. And let's lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Woo! And now, going back into that side plank once again. Remember, I said no to love handles. No, we don't need your love. But if you have it, it's fine. It's all about how you embrace your body. And let's lift the pelvis off the mat. And lift. How's everybody's shoulder? Everybody's shoulders okay? Okay. I know it's hard for you to respond because you're doing the side plank. I mean, I wouldn't respond. I'm like, he's crazy. He think I'm going to respond while I'm doing a side plank. It's ridiculous. And we're lengthening and lengthening, keeping the pelvis nice and high. And now let's lift the arm. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And let's lower. Woo! And now going back into that double leg lift. Head is nice and relaxed onto the hands. And the spine, we're not sagging at that spine, it's erected. And we are going to lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Ooh, nice. I thought I forgot how to count. Oh my goodness. That's why I paused. And now, let's begin by placing, let's stand up sideways, right? So now we're going to place that right palm slightly out of the shoulder length, okay? And we want to make sure we're nice and long and we're not stacking at that shoulder. So now that top leg, which should be your left, or if you're on the other side, it's your right, you're going to place that leg up front. The top leg foot goes in front of the other foot, and we're going to go in for a twist. So let's lift the pelvis off the mat. Good, and let's lengthen, sending fingertips over, and we're going to stack up. And now we are going to go for that twist. So we're going to pike the hips up, and we're going to slow in, and we are going to come out, and we are going to lower. And let's go for one more. Yes, one more. Let's practice. Pilates is practice. We practice every day to maintain or to progress. And let's lift. Sending energy towards the fingertips and stack back up. And now let's go for that twist. Planking the pelvis nice and high. And stack up. And let's lower down. And guess what? We have two sides. And let's flip it like a vegan burger. Or a turkey burger if you like turkey burgers. Or regular beef burgers if you like regular beef burgers. And let's go for that side plank. So let's make sure that the elbow is right under the shoulder. Okay? And we're not sagging. We're not dancing with the shoulder. Don't dance with the shoulder, but remain nice and stiff and elegant. And let's lift the pelvis and let's hold. Sending energy from the crown of the head and towards the bottoms of the feet. Taking deep inhale. Deep exhale. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. Now you may lift that top arm up and down for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now you may lower down. And now let's place the hands right behind the head. And remember, we're not sagging at the spine. We're not sagging. We're not sagging. The spine is nice and erected and active. And let's lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And let's lower. And last one. Say no to love handles. We don't need your love. But if you have it, it's okay. It's all about how you embrace it. And now, let's lift the pelvis up once again. And let's lift. And let's hold. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. Ooh, I'm shaking. Ooh, shake. And now, let's lift the top arm up for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Whee! And let's lower. Whee! And now, let's go back into that double side leg lift. Spine nice and erected, keeping the torso nice and quiet, and we're going to lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and woo! And now, let's go for that twist. So let's remember that top leg foot So front of the bottom leg foot. And we want to make sure that the heel of the palm of the hand, heel of the hand, palm, yes, is slightly out of the shoulder, right? Like slightly out of the shoulder. You're nice and long. And now you are going to lift the pelvis up towards the side, sending energy towards the fingertip, going into that side bend. And now, let's go for that twist. So we are going to lift the pelvis up, hike it up towards the ceiling, and rotate the torso. And now, let's place the pelvis back down to the side. And let's go for one more. Are you ready? And let's lift, going into that side bend. Energy towards the fingertips. And going back into that handstanding side plank. Hike the pelvis nice and high. Rotate the torso. And come back out. And lower with grace. And yes. And now, let's go on to our tummies. We're going to go into a prone position. Go into a prone position. And now, let's begin by placing the head. Let's allow the head to hover 1 inch or 2 inches off of the mat. The back of the neck is nice and long. We're pressing our pubic bone down onto the mat. The legs are nice and long, sending energy towards the bottoms of the feet. The palms of the hand are facing the ground. And we are going to lift the chest, leaving the lower rib onto the mat, and lower, and lift, and lower, and lifting the leg as well, and lower, but we want to make sure that the thigh remains, the mid-thigh remains on the ground, and lift, and lower, and one more lift, and lift. And now we're going to pump the arms for reverse hundreds. Breathing in for 5, out for 5, in for 5, out for 5. Neck, back of the neck is nice and long. Breathing in for 5, reach with the head, reach with the feet. Pumping in for 5, out for 5, in for 5, out for 5, in for 5. And out for 5. And we are going to lower all the way back down. And now, let's place our hands right by the shoulders. And let's press our bodies out of that stomach laying position. And let's go into a child's pose. Taking a deep inhale. Deep exhale. Deep inhale. And deep exhale. And now, let's go into that cat-cow position, that quadruped position I meant. And let's place that wrist right under the elbow, elbow right under the shoulder. And we are going to draw the belly button towards the spine. And we're going to send the sits bones towards the ground. As we go into that thoracic flexion. Curling up the chest, angry cat. And now we are going to arch the back, sending the sits bones back up towards the ceiling. And now, lengthen as you go into that flexion. And now let's go back into that neutral. And now let's go back into that arch position. And now let's draw the abdominals all the way in. And now let's go back into that child's pose position. So the sits bones is on top of the heel. Ooh, you can't see me. Sits bones are on top of the heels. And we are going to begin rolling up one vertebrae up at a time. Nice and long, nice and long, nice and long. Encore for plank. Yes, I hear an encore. And we're going to go back into that plank position. I heard millions of encores. The crowd cheers. Plank, 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 plank. And we are going to hold. Yes. Hold. Nice. Nice. And now let's send the right leg, the right foot by the hand. So we're going to extend the hand out right here. Good. Now, if you're limited in mobility, you may place the knee down onto the floor and then extend the leg out. And all you're going to do is lunge forward. And we're going in for a hip opener, the psoas. It's my favorite stretch. I sit a lot throughout the entire day, so if I don't stretch this particular part of my body, I get grumpy. Nothing can satisfy me, not even cookies and milk. And by the way, drinking milk is a treat for me because I'm lactose intolerant, and I love milk. So if drinking milk doesn't make me happy with cookies, that's a problem. So this is why I do the stretch, so I don't get to that point. Have you ever seen a Snickers commercial? Oh my God, I'm like Betty White. And let's place our hands back down onto the mat, and let's extend the legs out. And if you're doing the advanced variation, your transition will look like this, extending the left leg out and hold. But if you've done the modified position, your knee is on the ground, and you're going to place both hands onto the top of the knee. But going back into the sneaker commercial, yes, I'm like a person who hasn't had a sneaker in years. Like, that's how angry I would be if I don't get this stretch. So it's important that we stretch because we're always in flexion. We need to sit nice and tall. Oh, that felt good. If you extend, then now let's bring the legs back out. Going back into that plank position. And now we are going to walk our hands back up to our feet. I'm moving this way so everybody can see me. There you go. Everybody can see me? There you go. Now we're going to walk our hands back up to our feet. And now we are just going to dangle. So if you don't have too much hamstring availability, you may bend at the hamstring. Okay? And we're going to have our arms dangling out. And we are going to begin rolling up one vertebrae up at a time. Stacking up, stacking up, stacking up, stacking up. Stacking up, stacking up, stacking up, stacking up. Making sure that the rib cage is over the pelvis before we lift the head. Oh, nice, nice, nice. And now we are going to stand nice and tall, sending energy towards the crown of the head and towards the bottoms of the feet. And we are going to roll these shoulders forward. And now let's roll these shoulders back. And now we are going to slightly bend at the knee, hinge at the hip with a chest extension, no flexion, chest extension. And hinge, 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 hinge. And we are going to shake, 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 shake that coronavirus away because I miss you all and I would love to see you all again in person, or for those who are just started watching the videos and you're looking forward to coming to Club Pilates, we look forward to meeting you as well. And have a great Friday and party up. Don't lose the optimism. And also, tomorrow we have a CP Fit level 2 with Maria. She's going to kick your booty. So I hope you enjoy her class because she is a firecracker. And all the other instructors, you have to check them out because, they got their sauce and their swag. Like, oh my goodness. Like, I'm in Pilates heaven. Quarantine and Pilates. Like, how can you defeat that? You can't defeat that. Everybody has their style and zest and vigor. And if you took Monica's class this morning, booty boot cramp, team booty cramp. Yay. And everybody have a great day and enjoy yourself because life is short and it's all about how you make it. And that's all I have to say. And the program is now ended. Later, people. It's so crazy. I have to stop one camera so the other camera catches me speaking.